Are you living from the energy of life or the energy of death? Let's find out. So, what do I mean by the energy of life and energy of death? Energy of life is a positive, a more uplifting, energizing, lighter way of being. And the energy of death is heavy, it's moody, it's shitty, it's negative, and just wah. So, and I ask this question because, like, for such a long time in my life, like, I've been primarily living out of the energy of death. And not to say that I'm cured, I'm the guru sitting on top of the mountain. Yes, look at me, I'm cured, I'm enlightened, I live from the energy of life, and I have no negativity in me at all, no, nothing. I've primarily, like, this is a realization I made rather recently, that I've been living so much in this, life is shit, everything's terrible, fuck, wow, and using that death energy as a filter for all of life. It's kind of like putting on glasses. If, like, these are the death glasses, like, I see, I can see clearly now. It's like I can see the world for what it is, and then I can put a filter, like these glasses here, that darkens everything and just makes everything really shit and dark and negative, and just everything is terrible now. I don't like what I see. Everything is colored by, shades of darkness and shadow and just shittiness everywhere. Or instead, I can choose to take another filter and look at it with clearer eyes of, like, oh, okay, life is actually pretty good. So, for example, I'm in a situation right now where I'm kind of stuck in traffic. And if I chose to put these glasses on, this filter of negativity on, of going, ugh, this is terrible. I'm stuck in traffic. Oh, it's gonna take me an extra 4 minutes to get back home. Oh, fuck me. Terrible life, isn't it? Ugh. Or I can just say, hey, look, I'm fucking grateful that I actually have roads to drive on. I have a car that's functional, and it can take me from place to place to place, and can take me to, all the amazing things that I love to do. I'm grateful for this moment that I can actually stop and be in traffic, stop for moments to switch out my glasses and stuff, and make this video here and explain these concepts to you. So it depends on, like, you can choose your filter of life. I'm gonna put this on because it's practical at the moment. It's quite bright. And yeah, you can choose how to view your life. So for the longest time, for like most of my life, I've been choosing to consume material online, to view the world as a place that's full of scarcity and just evil things and just terrible shit. My question is, are you possibly doing the same? And this is a very easy, like, and if you are, this is not to fault you and go, oh, you're bad and I'm better. Look who's enlightened, it's me and not you. As the camera is angled upwards towards me, making me look bigger. My question is, are you, like, is life genuinely that shit because you're choosing to filter it? And if you change your filter towards that of, of life, of gratitude? Could you actually change your reality to be better? And this is something that I've been finding is actually yes. And especially with, like, as I'm getting practice in changing the energy that I approach life from, I'm finding that life is just so much fucking better. It is so much more colorful. It is so much more bountiful. And it's just a better place to be. It's just much more fun. There's better connections to make. There's more energy for me to hold. And there's more opportunities that come along my way when I come from the energy of life. From the energy that promotes expansion, that promotes giving. Giving is really fucking important. That it promotes being at one with everything, right? That promotes flow. This life energy, at least like when I tap into it, I could view the same situation of like, oh, I don't have any money, or I'm kind of broke, or whatever. I can view that from the death energy of, oh, I'm broke, and I need money. I need it, I need it, I need it. Like fucking, like Gollum from from Lord of the Rings. My precious, I need this thing to make my life complete. And when I have it, I'm still at lack within myself because I'm still fundamentally unhappy because I don't love myself or anything around me and I don't have gratitude for anything. I need it. And there's a lot of people that walk around with that kind of energy. And it just puts off that weird vibe. And I've been finding that I've been trying to do business from that kind of death energy, and it just puts people off. They're just like, fuck, what does this guy fucking want from me? But when I've tried working with that life energy, things just seem to work out a lot better. It just feels a lot better, and it gets better results too. And plus, I get results. Well, I get more opportunities, which is really cool. Trying to make some weird shifty moves on the intersection here. Anyways, it just makes me see the opportunities that are actually in front of me because I'm coming from a place of expansion, right? Rather than going like, putting the blinders on and not being able to see because I'm coming from this place of scarcity, of lack, of like, oh, I don't have anything, so I can't move and do anything. I open up and say, what are the actual options in front of me? Oh, yes, I have this opportunity here, and I have that opportunity there, and this and this and this and this. Maybe I don't have that thing that I'm searching for right now, whether it's a person in my life, or money, or assets, or resources, or health, or whatever it may be. But I'm expanding and opening up my view. I'm taking off the shit lens, the shit filter, and seeing, actually, no, I'm grateful that I'm alive, that I have a functional body, that I have, the capacity to speak and everything like that, and to reach out to multiple people. There's things I can do here. There's options on the table now. And there's options I can see now that I haven't seen before when I was in that death energy of, I need. And when I lean into that more, of like, all right, because there's abundance around, because there's, I'm opened up to that life energy, it allows me to go, all right, what if I just start, because there's, so many opportunities, so many things around here, what if I just start asking, like, of this life, of this universe, could I just have that thing? I think I can have that thing. I want that thing. And then somehow, some way, it kind of, like, the opportunity just falls into my lap, or just opens up at the right time. Like, I've had moments where like I've decided, like somehow, some way, I'm going to be at a particular training, or I'm going to do a particular like workshop or whatever, and I have no idea how. But the opportunity just opens up to me. And if I stayed in that sense of lack, of like that death energy of like, I'm dying, I don't have enough money to do the thing, then I would have totally ignored the possibility of literally just being like, from that life energy, going and saying, oh, you know what, there's so much energy that I can give. Can I assist you with your workshop in exchange for like a free ticket? And they say yes. It's amazing. Or, you know, can or if even if I'm just in that energy of just like giving or whatever, like I just get a message just out of the blue saying, hey, can you come over and attend this thing? Or if I've given them something in the past and they just message me out of the blue as well, saying like, hey, just as a thank you, I want you to be a part of this event, or I want you to have this thing, or da-da-da-da-da. And then somehow, some fucking way, I get what I put my attention on. You know, for, you know, some people may call it just manifesting it, right? I manifested the thing because I put my attention on it. And, like, I'm still learning about this thing, of course, but, about manifesting, but, like, this is my ideations, my ideas as I'm discovering this, as I'm learning this. But I'm finding, like, yeah, going from that life energy really allows that to flow a lot easier, right? I'm just gonna concentrate for a second here, because I'm gonna do some iffy merges again. All right, cool, we're good. So, yeah, so consider, where are you at in life? Where are you coming from, that life energy, where you feel that you can just, like the sun. The sun is a perfect example of just straight up life energy. The sun is this big ball of fucking plasma and all sorts of, you know, all sorts of heat and goodness and all that stuff. And it just, all it does all fucking day for millions of years is just radiate energy outwards from it. Radiating. Life energy. And literally every bit of life on this planet relies on the sun for that life energy. So, as a metaphor, like, if you could be like the sun, where you are emanating this life energy from you, people will be attracted to you. They'll want to be around you. They'll find themselves liking you. They'll want to give back to you. At least this is what I've been finding. Like, they'll want to give back to you, and you'll find that life in general, with its funny functions, with the way that it works, the way that God or the universe, or however you want to call it, like the way that God works, like if you're putting out that energy just constantly like the sun, that energy from the universe will kind of like come back to you in different ways, right? And perhaps the way that you may be asking for, that you may be desiring at this moment, like say for example money or whatever, it may not come to you exactly in that way, but the energy will circulate back to you. This is kind of like karma, I guess. It will circulate back to you in one way or another. Maybe it might be assistance and help from other people. Maybe it might be improved health in some way, or maybe it might be people offering you things or giving you things, or just something positive happening. But that energy will kind of come back to you if you're radiating just that life energy. Life will come back and reward you. And check out my older video of life only gives you, life gives you what you need, not what you want. Oh wait, no, hold on. Life gives you what you want or what you need. Yeah, something like that. But the basic premise was that, you may not be getting exactly what you want in exchange for your energy output into life, your life energy output. You may not get exactly what you want, but you'll get what you need. What you need in some form or fashion, right? It might be that opportunity for, that new rental place that you are looking at, or an even better rental place, or whatever it may be. If you're putting that energy out there, that giving life energy, that energy will circulate back to you in some way. And the opposite is also true. If you're constantly putting out that death energy, where it's deathly, it's sickly, it's contracting, it's just small, it's fucking needy, it's then the same will come back to you. If you're continuously putting it out there like some Death Star fucking thing, that destructive energy of like, fuck you, complaining, it will come back in some sort of way, whether it's ill health or, poor finances, or people wanting to just get away from you, or people like shit people wanting to be around you and good people wanting to leave you, whatever it may be. It will come back and attract back to you because you're resonating on that level of energy. You're resonating on death energy. Don't do that. You can make the choice to say, hey, look, I'm choosing to resonate with life energy. Now, this is not like for the pessimists out there that might say, this is just putting on rose-colored glasses. Like, guys, chill out. Like, this is like having a gear shift in your head and choosing to say, all right, what can I do to see the world as a better place? Because you can choose to make, like, it's in your own choice. You can choose to make your own personal hell. And that's literally like from how you decide to see the world, decide to see the universe. If you see it as a loving place, or you see yourself as a person that's, abundant and full of energy and love and joy, your outer world will reflect that. You will begin to see the opportunities and the good things, the positive energy flow back to you, because you're putting that out yourself. Those things will be attracted to you. Now, if this sounds a little bit woo-woo or whatever, like, sure, but this is just what I'm finding. As I'm tapping more into that energy, I'm finding I feel way fucking better, way more open, way more energized, and just way more friendlier and just happier in general, and way more open to be more me, more expressive, more like I want to just do what I want. And when I shift gears into that death energy, life just contracts and just gets more gray and just more shit. So I'm saying to you, be aware that this may be something that you're also doing as well. Consider, are you also shifting that gear into negative energy, into that death energy, coming from a place of lack and smallness and complaining and blah blah blah? Are you coming from there, or are you approaching life from that life energy, like the sun? Do that and just watch as things start to change and become just better, and just life just blossoms open and becomes more beautiful. So give that a try, see how that works for you. If you're finding, new changes or something different for you, I would love to actually hear what your experiences are, like in the comments, and I'll jump in and respond to everybody there, get a discussion started, and just be open to monitoring. Like, I invite you to also monitor as well. Who are the people that you hang around with, and the people just on the street or just around you or whatever? Are they coming from life energy? Are they coming from death energy? And don't. There's a really easy way to like have death energy just like circumvent that as well, where you can come from this judgmental like, oh, he's coming from death energy, I'm better than. No. Don't fucking do that. Don't misinterpret that, because that's just like fueling that same energy. Just go. It's just like a calm, detached like noticing of like, I can feel this vibe off this person, and like he's coming from either like a positive life energy of like, I can feel like that his cup is full, and it's just, the cup is just running over. It's just overflowing, and it's just filling up other people's cup. I can feel my cup filling up just by being around this person. Or I can feel myself feeling fucking drained from being around this person. Just notice that. Just notice that. And if you're noticing that a lot of the people that you're surrounded with are coming from that draining energy, and you're aware of this now, it would be good to check yourself as well to see, where am I coming from? Like, how am I approaching life? How am I viewing the world and causing this within my internal self, within my internal world, to cause and attract more people around me that come from this death energy? How am I exuding death energy to attract more death energy around me, if they are putting that out? Also, conversely, if the people around me are fucking amazing and that they're giving that life energy, and you just feel like they're their little sons as well, just like I'm a son, that's a pretty good indicator that, like a reflection that you're doing all right, that life is actually pretty fucking sweet, that you're coming from that life energy. So pay attention and see, like, you know, like, are you coming from life energy or death energy, right? Even the environment. You may be viewing, I don't know, say, fucking something, I don't know, take for example, sleeping in your car or whatever, right? You may be, I don't know, coming from a death energy of just like, this is fucking shit, blah, blah, blah. Or you can come from a life energy of like, you know, I get to wake up to, you know, I don't know, like a multi-million-dollar riverfront water view, you know, scenery with a park behind me or whatever. And this is absolutely beautiful, right? Or you can say, I'm fucking poor and this and that. You can view that same stimulus of life in two completely different ways, right? And that's not to say that, like, you can't harness a bit of death energy to also fuel you as well, fuel you along. Like, say for example, if you are actually stuck in a situation where you're, say, without money or without resources or whatever, it can actually be useful, like, to get, but it will only get you so far. Say for example, if you're fueled by the pain of death energy, of like, I fucking hate where I am, and this sucks, this is all shit, it's too much, and that's being used as fuel in your situation to get out of that, say to make money or whatever, great, you can use that, but just understand that you can only go so far, and at some point it will actually end up destroying you. So take for example, if you're like making money or something, or doing business, or just trying to improve your life from this position of death, from this death energy. You may make choices that kind of like maybe desperate or something, of like, oh, I need to fucking scam a person or do something or whatever, or even just like you might even do honest business or whatever, but still be coming from that place of like, oh fuck, I need to do this business so I can make money and because I'm in a shit place. It can give you like that initial rocket fuel to be like, fuck, this is so painful, I need to fucking get out of this situation, move out quickly. But if you stay in that, what will happen is that it will only take you so far. Because once you get to that like position of starting to have things, and this is not me from speaking from experience, just so that I can stay integral here. This is me like from having read and seen like other people's accounts of this. Like, what happens to them is basically they get to like a certain point in, say, like finances or business or whatever, and then they get stuck there because their old pattern of thinking does not allow them to move beyond that, and they just get stuck there. They stay in like some grinding like hustle mode or whatever. Not to say that like that's not necessary, but like if you're just stuck there in that negative energy of like, I need to, like, I'm being pushed forward by the avoidance of my pain, rather than I'm being pulled forward towards an expression of life and beauty and giving. It's two different energies at play there. The avoidance of pain thing will only keep you going while the pain is still there. And that destructive energy will eventually grind you down at some point. Whereas, so like you might end up working a job that you fucking hate or something, just to get the money to survive or to make enough to reach some sort of particular goal or whatever, but you still fucking hate it, and that's still operating out of that death energy, because you're trying to avoid the pain of the mortgage or whatever the hell. Versus if you're coming from that pull energy, so like that's the push energy of like, you have to force yourself through this pain, and that energy will kind of only be around while you're under pain. When the pain disappears, the desire to move forward, that energy disappears as well. So you get caught in this like catch-22 of like, I want to escape the pain, but I need the pain to actually continue forward. So it's this constant like, self-reinforcing cycle of like, I'm going to continuously hurt myself so I can feel myself and hurt myself and feel myself, blah, 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 right? Versus the energy of life, where it's like, no, I want to say, for example, I want to give back to my people around me, or I want to make sure that they're taken care of, or I want to give and expand and become a better person, whatever it is. It's a different energy. It's a pull energy, right? You're being pulled towards it, and by doing the work, that's where you can, from that kind of energy, that's where you can get into flow. That's where you can feel energized from doing the work itself, rather than feeling drained because you're trying to avoid, you're basically trying to, I don't know the description of it, you're trying to like, just like push back against all of the pain around you, right? You're being pulled towards and energized by the process of doing that work. And that's another self-reinforcing loop of like, I did this good thing that comes from life energy, I get more energy back, and then I do it again, and dot, like the sun just continues bigger and bigger and bigger, just putting out more and more energy, right? That's when you know that you're really operating out of life energy. And that's the fucking amazing thing about it, is that it literally will make you look younger. Like when people find, like they leave that shit job, or they find their passion for life or whatever, they literally look younger, and gives them more life. They live longer. Whereas people that operate from that death energy, say for example, certain billionaires, like the George Soroses, or the fucking Bill Gates or whatever, like guys that do all sorts of just weird, fucked up shit, like towards the world, and they just look like fucking demons, like fucking golems, like just because they're just run by this death energy, and it just drips off of them, and you just get this weird vibe about them. Because take for example George Soros, for example, he's like, and he self-admits, like, he sees himself as a fucking god, and all he wants to do is just control other people, just flex on other people, and just like control and treat the world as like a bunch of pawns around, and just do evil shit basically, and cause a lot of death and destruction, and profiting off that, or like the warmonger politicians that are just like, yes, fucking, shoot the missiles, go for war, send the troops, like they have that, they're just run by death energy, and they've harnessed that death energy to get that far, but it also destroys them. They look older, they look fucking more decrepit, they look more, there's lines throughout their face, and blah, because they're just fueled by that death energy. And like, yeah, if you want to get into the more, I guess, what do you call it, the like occult and stuff like that, the people that do harness a lot more of this, this is getting probably like more into the movie side, like the guys that do, grow and harness more of that death energy, like the Satanists or whatever you want to call them, like that satanic death energy. Like they will get together and harness and grow it, so they use that energy to fuel them forward, so that they can press down on people or just fuck them up or whatever, and just do that across the society. It is an energy source where you can do a lot of things. Like there are, say rich scammers, or rich people that that do a lot of evil shit, like human trafficking or whatever. They operate from that death energy, and yes, they are successful because they manage to harness it, but it strips away at their humanity when they get to that that higher level of success, quote unquote, right? It eats away at their soul. Like I don't know, like if you were to look at the eyes of these people, you'll see that they're fucking dead. They're dead. They have that death energy, and you can just feel it, right? These are the people that have harnessed this particular type of energy, and it's just fucking permeated throughout society, through TV, through news, through social media and everything. It's just kind of permeated everywhere. But if you choose to come from that life energy, where you're giving back and doing good for the world, and living what you're here to do, your particular mission, your particular destiny, whatever you want to call it, your life's task. If you're living from that, of that giving sun life energy, it will serve you and the rest of humanity. And I'm fucking rooting for you. Live that life. Check yourself first, like to see if you are living from that death energy. Like for me personally, I was living so much in like isolation, just reading up every day, just stewing in like shitty news and this and that, politics and all this fucking garbage of like, the world is fucking shit, and it's all garbage, and it's rah, rah, the world should be different, rah, 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 rah. And I looked and felt fucking miserable all the goddamn time. And even though, like, yeah, I technically did have more money in the bank back in the day, like, because I was so in that fucking kind of state, I wouldn't allow myself to feel the abundance of, the money that I had back then, because I was just fueled by this death energy of just wanting to basically die faster, essentially. And then that's, I started making these changes towards more life energy, but I wasn't conscious of it. And I was just basically following what felt essentially good. Life energy feels fucking great. And so for the past couple of years, I've been having this contention between, my normal programmed desires of way of being towards death energy. And it was contending with the new life energy that was inserting itself into my life that I was approaching. I was like, this feels good, but why do I feel fucking weird all the time? Why do I feel like, and other people go like, hey, where's this fun Daniel that we know and like? Today, like, that was yesterday and the day before. Today, he's like this fucking weird Daniel that's like, I'm just full of lack, and I'm just all stifled and just stiffen myself and But they're like, Daniel, can you like just click back to the other Daniel, please? It was just so much better. It was more you, right? And that's where I tried to put on the masks and do all the shit to be like, no, I'm good. I'm really better than that. That's still death energy, because it comes from a place of like, I don't love myself. I'm full of lack. And yeah, but recently I've learned that I've made it a lot more conscious of like, all right, am I really approaching life from life energy or death energy? Am I hanging around people that are with life energy or death energy? Am I doing things and being in places that are promoting life energy or death energy? Am I consuming information or blocking out information that is from life energy or death energy? Am I eating or doing things or whatever from life energy or death energy? Ask yourself this question. Is what I'm doing expansive? Is it exploratory? Is it growth-based? Or is it contractive? Is it small? Is it full of fear? Ask yourself, what are you primarily charged by in your movements forward in life? And for me, I'm working on getting more of that life energy. And it's just definitely way better now than it was, a while back, even a couple months ago. But there's still parts of myself that's just like as an automatic response of oh, that's fucking shit. Oh, no. But what I'm doing is just being aware of where is my brain going. And one of the things that I've actually done for a little while, for a couple days, just so I can get in the habit of kind of watching my brain, like where it's coming from, what is fueling my brain at that moment, is that whenever I would have that shit death energy thought of a complaint, of a insult, of you're shit, you're this, blah blah blah, or I'm shit, I'm this, I'm that, blah 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 blah, just what I would do is just catch it. I would first monitor my thoughts as I go through the day, catch that death energy thought, and then I would have a physical thing that I would do to kind of remind me to be in that state of just watching myself. So what I did, and I found that worked for me, was and what was the most practical as well was that I have a watch on my wrist. What I would do is that when I have that thought come up, I would switch out my watch and put it on. Probably not the best idea to do this while on the highway, but switch it over to the other arm, where it feels kind of weird and uncomfortable, right? Because I'm very used to having my watch on this hand, but not on this one, on my right side. And just that physical indicator just kind of reminds me to be mindful of the thoughts that's in my head, to catch that little golem, that like death energy, that little demon inside my head that's constantly spewing fucking garbage. And if you have like a bangle or a ring or something or whatever it is, you can do that too. And you can have that as like a physical reminder to be aware of your thoughts. And when the thought comes up, you can choose. There's a phenomenal book called Psycho-Cybernetics by Maxwell Maltz. It's a phenomenal book. Read that book. But basically, in it tells you how you can choose to say, all right, I have a thought now. I'm going to say, cancel that, and replace it with another thought. If you do that enough times, what will happen is that, and over a long enough period, like your brain will default to more of those life energy, more positive thoughts. And that will color the filter, the lens that you put on yourself in how you see the world. It'll be like, basically it's a habit, right? It's an automatic way of seeing the world. It's an automatic habit of going, I'm in traffic, this is fucking shit. Now my mood is ruined for the rest of the day. Or I'm in traffic, great. I have time to slow down, or whatever, and take a breath. Or this particular thing happened, blah, 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 blah. Or now I can see opportunities. It will set your mind up in a way that's more open and more seeking of the possibilities, rather than the where shit goes wrong. It's kind of like looking through a forest and choosing, like, it's the same forest, but you can either choose to see the paths in between the trees and seeing, oh, I see a path through the forest, or you can see all the trees as obstacles and say, well, there's no way through the forest because it's just all trees. It's the same thing in front of you, but it's the choice, the gear shift that you make in your head, that you choose, that defines whether you're going to make it through that forest or sit where you are and be stuck. So I invite you to use this technology of physical indicators or reminders or whatever to be mindful of the thoughts that you have, and from what energy are you approaching life, because things will be better if you are like the sun and approaching it with that life energy. So this is my little talk on that. This is the things that I've learned over the past couple months, and what has gotten me to feel so much better on a more daily basis, and feeling much more expansive and open to receiving more of the goodness that life has to offer as I'm putting out more energy, and life will come and return energy back. And most importantly, I'm not giving out energy with an expectation or holding on to it with a demand of like, I'm giving to get. Fuck that. No. That's still coming. That immediately goes back into that death energy of like, oh, I can't give anything without, I need my thing. That's not to say that you can't get paid for things or whatever. Like, you do need a energy exchange back. But if it's like coming from like, I'm only gonna give to you because I'm coming from a place of lack, and I expect something back from you, like, no, that's fucked. If you're coming from that place of, I'm giving like the sun, I'm detaching myself from the energy that will come back to me because I'm just solid, and I know that in some way, somehow, energy will come back to me, whether it's in the form of opportunities or money or whatever it may be. Just navigating around the truck. Just allow yourself to go, all right, I'm going to give like the sun, and I know I'm just secure in the fact that at some point it will come back to me. I'm not even bothering to look at that. It will just come back to me in some way, shape, or form. And I know that it will kind of, I'll have my internal navigator kind of like lead me to that. So be like the sun, keep putting out positive energy, and just be fucking awesome. Have a good one.